Hello everyone, welcome to today's lecture. So yesterday we started with chapter 10, space missions. Today is the continuation. We will start with page number 140. The heading is satellite launch vehicles. So in the other lecture we studied about different types of satellite launch vehicles, that is PSLV and GSLV. They are the launch vehicles. That means vehicles which help in launching of a particular satellite. Now what is the need for satellite launch vehicles? We will see. Satellite launch vehicles are used to place the satellites in their specific orbits. The function of the satellite launch vehicle is based on Newton's third law of motion. The launch vehicle uses a specific type of fuel. The gas produced due to combustion of the fuel expands due to its high temperature and is expelled forcefully through the nozzles at rear side of the launch vehicle. As a reaction of this, a thrust acts on the vehicle which drives the vehicle higher into the space. So this is Newton's third law of motion, which we have studied in lower classes also. Now, the structure of the launch vehicle is decided by the weight of the satellite and the type of the satellite orbit. The fuel of the vehicle also depends on these factors. The fuel forms a major portion of the total weight of the launch vehicle. Thus, the vehicle has to carry a large weight of fuel with it. To overcome this problem, launch vehicles with more than one stage are used. Due to this, the weight of the vehicle can be reduced step by step after its launching. For example, consider a launch vehicle having two stages. Okay, in the diagram 10.5a you may see this is the structure of PSLV made by ISRO. Here there is first stage using solid fuel, okay, second stage, third stage, fourth stage, okay. So in the first stage it makes use of the solid fuel. After reaching a particular height, this stage is removed from that part. Second stage using liquid fuel, third stage using solid fuel, fourth stage using liquid fuel. Now we will see. Thus, the vehicle has to carry a large weight of fuel with it. To overcome this problem, launch vehicles with more than one stage are used. Due to this, the weight of the vehicle can be reduced step by step after its launching. For example, consider a launch vehicle having two stages. For launching the vehicle, the fuel and the engine in the first stage are used. Okay, you may see. So, for launching, the engine and the solid fuel in the first stage is used. This imparts a specific velocity to the vehicle and takes it to a certain height. After reaching that particular height, once the fuel in this first stage is exhausted, the empty fuel tank and the engine are detached from the main body of the vehicle and fall either into the sea or an unpopulated land. This is calculated so that it falls into the sea or to an unpopulated land. Okay. As the fuel in the first stage is exhausted, the fuel in the second stage is ignited. However, the vehicle now contains only one stage. Okay, so it had two stages. One has lost, the second one is there. The weight now being reduced, the vehicle can move with higher speed. Almost all vehicles are made of either two or more stages. As an example, the structure of Polar Satellite Launch Vehicle, that is PSLV, developed by ISRO, it has been shown in figure 10.5a. This diagram could be given and labeling could be asked. The functionings, it is there in this paragraph, this could be asked. Otherwise, they will give you the diagram and ask for labeling or the complete diagram. They will ask you complete diagram. This diagram is important. Now in 10.5b, they have shown a space shuttle. The launch vehicles are costly because they can be used only once. Okay, once these parts are being lost, it goes into the sea or an unpopulated land. So there is loss. So to prevent that, USA has therefore developed a space shuttle which returns to the earth except for the fuel tank and can be reused in multiple launches. So that is the importance of space shuttle. Separation of booster rockets, okay, which helps the satellite to take it up above the surface of the earth. After introducing the satellite into the orbit, satellite is launched in its orbit and space shuttle returns to the earth. They could give you this diagram and ask what it is and what has been explained in this diagram. So this page is comparatively important. Okay, page number 140. Now we may move on to the next page. Page number 141. Always remember, they have explained about the firecracker rocket which is used in Diwali. It is the function is similar to that of satellite launchers. Space missions away from the surface of the earth. Now, if there is a artificial satellite, that artificial satellite has to escape the velocity, escape the gravitational force of the earth. Okay, that velocity which it needs to escape the gravitational pull of the earth, that is called as escape velocity. We had studied about this in chapter 1, gravitation. A similar calculation derivation has been given here. You may see escape velocity on a planet can be obtained using the formula V escape is equal to root of 2 gm upon r. Okay, earlier we had calculated critical velocity, that is Vc, which is equal to gm upon root of gm upon r plus h. This is V escape is equal to root of 2 gm upon r, where g stands for gravitational constant, m is mass of the planet, r is radius of the planet. Substituting the values, you get the value as 11.18 into 10 raised to 3 meter per second, that is 11.18 kilometer per second. This is a repetition of chapter 1. Now, do you know, box, the astronomical object closest to us is the moon. Light takes 1 second to reach from moon to the earth. It means that if we travel with the speed of light, it will take 1 second to reach the moon. And what is the speed of light? It is 3 into 10 raised to 8 meters per second. However, since a spacecraft travels at a much smaller speed, it takes longer time to reach the moon. The shortest time taken by a spacecraft to reach the moon so far is 8 hours and 36 minutes. You may mark this. This could be a fill in the blank question. Now we may move on to the next page. Now the next page, page number 142. It is about moon missions, Mars missions and missions to other planets. About moon missions, since the moon is the closest astronomical object to us, the first space missions to objects in the solar system were the missions to the moon. Such missions have so far been executed by USA, Soviet Union, European countries, China, Japan and India. The spacecrafts in the Luna series sent by Soviet Union, this you may mark. Okay, it could be an objective question. Reached near the moon. Luna 2, launched in 1959, was first such craft. After that, till 1975, 15 spacecrafts made chemical analysis of the moon and also measured its gravity, density and radiations. Last 4 crafts even landed on the moon and brought the samples of stones on the moon for analysis in the laboratories. All these missions were unmanned. America also executed moon missions from 1962 to 1972. The speciality of these missions was that some of these were manned missions. In July 1969, Neil Armstrong became the first human to step on the moon. In 2008, ISRO successfully launched Chandrayaan-1 and placed it into an orbit around the moon. It sent useful information to Earth for about a year. The most important discovery made during the mission was the presence of water on the moon surface. India was the first country to discover this. So, in this paragraph, objective questions are there. You may study the years, the different dates. You may study those dates and the names of the particular satellites. Mars mission. Next to moon, the astronomical object nearest to Earth is the Mars. Many nations sent spacecrafts to the Mars. Mars mission is difficult and almost half the missions were unsuccessful. However, ISRO's performance in this mission is remarkable and we all must be proud of it. The spacecraft Mangalyaan, made by ISRO using minimum expenses, was launched in November 2013 and was placed into the orbit around the Mars in September 2014. It obtained very useful information about the surface of the Mars and atmosphere around it. Rakesh Sharma was the first Indian to travel to space. He went into space along with 2 Russian astronauts under the joint Indo-USSR space program. He stayed in space for about 8 days. Kalpana Chawla obtained her engineering in aeronautics degree from Punjab and in 1988 obtained her doctorate from University of Colorado. She was in space for 336 hours during research mission. While returning to Earth from space on 1st February 2003, the Columbia spacecraft exploded and Kalpana perished. Sunita Williams. Sunita Williams traveled to the International Space Station in Space Shuttle Discovery in 2006. Okay, the name of the shuttle is Discovery. She worked for 29 hours outside the space station. She created a record by staying for 192 days in space. Okay, so last year some questions were asked from this part. For this year it has been deleted. Mission to other planets. Many missions have been executed to study other planets also. In some of these missions, the spacecrafts orbited the planets, some landed on the planets, and some just passed near the planet and observed them. Additionally, spacecrafts have been sent to observe asteroids and comets, and they have successfully collected some dust and stones from the asteroids and brought them back on the Earth. We are getting very useful information from all these missions, clarifying our concepts about the origin and evolution of solar system. So this is on page number 142. Next is page number 143. Page number 143, India and space technology. India also has made remarkable progress in the science and technology of launch vehicles. Various types of launch vehicles have been developed to put satellites having weight up to 2500 kg into all types of orbits. PSLV and GSLV are 2 important launchers. Okay, you may underline this. This is an important question. The scientific and technological feats achieved by India in this field have a significant contribution to the national and social development. INSAT and GSAT satellite series is activity working in the field of telecommunication, television broadcasting, and meteorological services. Availability of television, telephone, and internet services all over the nation has been possible due to these satellites only. EduSat, you may underline this, satellite in this series is used specially in the field of education. IRS satellite is working for monitoring and management of natural resources and disaster management. To exactly locate the position of any place on the Earth's surface in terms of precise latitude and longitude, the IRNSS satellite series has been established. Now, our satellite launch centers at Tumba, Sriharikota and Chandipur in Odisha. Space Research Organization, Vikram Sarabhai, Satish Dhawan Space Research Center, Sriharikota, and Space Application Center, Ahmedabad. This is a paragraph about Vikram Sarabhai. Introduction to scientist. Vikram Sarabhai is considered as the father of Indian space program. His efforts led to the foundation of Physical Research Laboratory PRL at Ahmedabad in 1962. Indian government constituted Indian National Committee for Space Research under his chairmanship, and first satellite launch center was established at Tumba in 1963. The launching of India's first satellite Aryabhatta into the space was the result of his efforts. He played an important role in the establishment of Indian Space Research Organization. Now the topic is space debris and its management. In addition to artificial satellite, some other objects are also revolving around the Earth. They are non-functional satellites, parts of launcher detached during launching, and debris generated due to collision of satellite with other satellite or any other object in the space. So it is pollution. Okay, the pollution, e-pollution, that means pollution of space. This debris can be harmful to the artificial satellites. It can collide with these satellites or spacecrafts and damage them. This debris is increasing day by day. Soon it will be difficult to launch new spacecrafts. It is therefore essential to manage the debris. Okay, so studies on that is also going on. So it is an important topic, space debris and its management. So we have finished with the chapter 10. The important questions from this chapter is about the structure of PSLV made by ISRO on page number 140. They will give you the diagram, ask the labelings or the diagram itself, or ask how does a space satellite launch vehicle work. Otherwise, the question on page number 138. What are the different types of satellite orbits? That is high Earth orbits, medium Earth orbits and low Earth orbits. Derivation of critical velocity. That is another important question. Page number 137, 138. Or the different types of satellites. There is a table given on page number 137. These are the important questions of this chapter, and one numerical from the exercise on page number 144. Question number 5. Question A. It is the most frequently asked question. You may refer to the notes and do the numericals of the exercise. Thank you.